Captain Jamie Keller felt a mix of excitement and apprehension as she stepped off the shuttle onto the surface of Valeria 7. The ground beneath her boots crunched softly, a far cry from the metallic floors of the ship. Large, iridescent plants swayed gently under an alien breeze, their colors shifting from deep indigo to vibrant turquoise. A new world, she thought, and a fresh start. "Welcome, Captain Keller," said Commander Tarek, a towering figure with elongated features and skin that shimmered in the daylight. He gestured toward the alien metropolis in the distance. "You'll find Valeria 7 is teeming with life and knowledge." "Thank you, Tarek," Jamie replied, matching his enthusiasm. "Our mission here is important. We need to establish communication and build trust with your people." As they walked toward the heart of the city, Jamie marveled at the architecture, tall spires, flowing curves, and materials that seemed to shift and change. The streets were alive with Valerians, their bodies adorned with colors unmatched by any Earth design. She felt a tug at her heart. This was what exploration was meant to be. "I'll introduce you to the council," Tarek said, guiding her through a bustling thoroughfare. "They are curious about humans." "Curious or skeptical?" Jamie asked with a smile. "A bit of both," Tarek admitted, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. "But they have reason to be. Our histories are intertwined with conflict. However, you will change that." At a large gathering hall, Tarek stopped and motioned for Jamie to enter first. The grand room was circular, with a domed ceiling that sparkled faintly. Seated within were the members of the council, their gazes inquisitive. "Esteemed council," Tarek announced, "I present to you Captain Jamie Keller of Earth. She comes in peace." Jamie took a breath and stepped forward. "Thank you, Tarek," she said, "and thank you, members of the council. It's an honor to be here. My people have much to learn, and we hope to share our own knowledge as well." One of the council members, Lyra, was notably striking, her skin iridescent and her patterns constantly shifting with emotion. "What makes you believe that we should trust your kind?" she asked, her voice melodic. Jamie met her gaze. "I understand the history, but my mission is founded on respect and understanding. I'm here to show that we can be allies." Lyra raised an eyebrow, glancing around the council. "You're aware of the tensions that exist?" "Yes, and we want to change that," Jamie responded, sensing the weight of Lyra's scrutiny. "I believe we can learn much from each other. Learning is one thing, but is trust so easily gained?" Lyra pressed. Tarek interjected, "Your willingness to communicate already shows bravery. But perhaps demonstrations of friendship are necessary." "Agreed," said another council member, his arms crossing. "What can you share that we do not already know?" Jamie smiled, her mind racing through various ideas. "Music, art, the natural beauty of Earth's landscapes. I'd like to invite you to experience something unique. We have a phenomenon called snow." "Snow? What is that?" Lyra asked, her curiosity piqued. "It's a form of frozen water," Jamie explained. "It falls from the sky like tiny crystals, and when it blankets the ground, everything turns white. It's quite beautiful." "We'd like to see this," Lyra declared, her eyes sparkling with interest. "Only if you promise not to eat it," Jamie joked, breaking the tension. Lyra laughed, a sound that resonated beautifully in the room. "We will refrain, I assure you." The council exchanged glances before Tarek spoke again. "Very well, Captain. Show us this snow. The council will support you in your endeavor." Jamie felt a wave of relief wash over her. "Thank you. I believe this experience will bring us closer." After the meeting, Tarek walked beside Jamie as they left the grand hall. "You handled yourself well," he said, "but bringing snow indoors may require assistance. It isn't easy for Valerians to understand your Earth customs. Then we'll collaborate. I'd like to involve Lyra in particular," Jamie remarked. "She appears quite passionate." "Lyra has always been passionate. A great asset but sometimes impulsive," Tarek warned. "But yes, you should work with her." "Can you set up a meeting?" Jamie asked, her mind ablaze with possibilities. "Of course. I will arrange it for tomorrow." That evening, Jamie couldn't sleep, her thoughts racing. The potential of their mission excited her, and the prospect of working alongside Lyra thrilled her. She found a small balcony on the upper level of the human quarters, looking out over the alien landscape. The beauty was surreal. The night air was cool, and Jamie hugged herself, reflecting on the challenges ahead. She heard footsteps behind her and turned to see Lyra approaching, her eyes glimmering under the stars. "Captain Keller," Lyra greeted, her voice soft but filled with curiosity. "May I join you?" Of course, Jamie smiled, gesturing to the space beside her. What's on your mind? I've been thinking about snow, Lyra said, leaning against the balcony railing. It seems magical, something I dream of understanding. It really is, Jamie replied, feeling an inviting warmth as Lyra stood close. When I was a child, I loved watching it fall and play in it. It brings a unique sense of joy. Joy, an interesting emotion, Lyra mused, her gaze drifting toward the stars. We have our forms of joy, but I imagine it may be different. It is different, Jamie said, but that's what makes sharing these experiences worthwhile. We can learn from one another. Lyra turned to her, their eyes meeting. Teach me about joy, then. I will do my best, Jamie said, feeling a sudden spark of connection. Perhaps we can start by laughing together? Lyra suggested, her playful tone breaking the seriousness of the moment. All right, Jamie replied, laughter bubbling up as they began a light-hearted exchange, sharing humorous stories from their worlds. In those moments of shared laughter, Jamie felt something begin to bloom, a connection that transcended their differences. She eagerly anticipated the days ahead. Little did she know they were on the brink of not only discovering snow together but uncovering the depths of friendship that awaited them. Chapter 2, A Cultural Exchange. The following day dawned bright and filled with promise. Jamie woke up early, excitement thrumming in her veins as she prepared for her meeting with Lyra and Tarek. She dressed in her standard duty uniform, but beneath her composed exterior, she felt like a child waiting for the first snowfall. Today would mark the beginning of a unique cultural exchange, and she was eager to share one of humanity's most delightful experiences. Once she arrived at the meeting point, a large, open chamber adorned with Valerian art, Tarek was already waiting, looking over data displayed on a holographic interface. Good morning, Captain, Tarek said, glancing up and offering a smile. I trust you're ready? As ready as I'll ever be, Jamie replied, attempting to hide her nervousness. Do you think Lyra will like the idea of artificial snow? Tarek nodded. Lyra enjoys anything that captures the essence of emotion. I believe she will connect with it. Moments later, Lyra entered, her luminous skin reflecting the ambient light in the room. She wore an elegant outfit crafted from shimmering fabric that seemed to mimic the colors of the room around her. Good morning, Jamie. Tarek. Lyra greeted enthusiastically, her voice melodic. What shall we explore today? Today we are going to create snow, Jamie exclaimed, gesturing excitedly toward a nearby station filled with various devices. Lyra's eyes widened in awe. You truly believe this will bring us closer? This snow? Absolutely, Jamie said, confident. Experiencing snow together will help us bond, and I think you'll love how it feels. I'm intrigued, Lyra replied, stepping closer to the holographic display. How do we begin? First, we'll need to set up the snow generator, Jamie explained, pointing to the complex device array. It uses elemental particles, much like water, but in a different form, to create the snowflakes. Tarek, would you mind helping me with the technical specifications? Of course, Tarek said, moving beside Jamie. Let's make sure we optimize the temperature settings for Valerian comfort. While they worked, Jamie offered explanations about earthly weather conditions, describing how snow formed under specific atmospheric conditions. Tarek frequently interjected with questions regarding human experiences related to snow, and Jamie found herself enjoying the back-and-forth banter. Lyra, meanwhile, watched with fascination. Jamie, how does the snow feel? It's soft, cool, and often sparkly under the light. It's like tiny flecks of magic, Jamie said, her smile sincere. When it falls, everything becomes quiet, and for a moment, the world seems to pause. Your descriptions are as vivid as the colors of our flora, Lyra commented, her curiosity evident. You paint pictures with your words. Thank you. I just love sharing what makes me happy, Jamie replied, her spirits lifted. Once they finished assembling the generator, Jamie stood back to admire their work. Tarek grinned, a hint of pride on his face. Now, let's test it out. On 3. Lyra suggested, her excitement palpable. Sounds good, Jamie said, glancing at them with anticipation. 1, 2, 3. Tarek activated the device, and within moments, the generator whirred to life, releasing a cascade of sparkling flakes that danced through the air. Jamie's eyes lit up, and she held her breath as the room transformed into a winter wonderland. Lyra gasped, her hands reaching out to catch the falling snowflakes. It's beautiful, she exclaimed, turning to Jamie, her eyes sparkling with joy. I can feel the magic you described. It's amazing, isn't it? Jamie replied, laughter bubbling up as she stepped into the soft, fluffy snow covering the ground. Shall we dance? Lyra suggested, her playful spirit infectious. Dance in the snow? That's a quintessential Earth tradition. Jamie said, her heart soaring. As Jamie twirled, Lyra joined her, both of them expressing joy in the soft snowfall. Tarek watched with a smile, amused by the two women celebrating the beauty of a simple moment. Do you want to join us, Tarek? Jamie called out as she spun around. It's not my custom, but I will observe, he said playfully, crossing his arms but clearly entertained. After a few minutes of laughing and dancing through the burgeoning snow, Jamie reached out to Lyra, who now was staring wide-eyed at the sparkling spectacle. What do you think? I feel as though I am part of something greater, Lyra said, her voice soft. These snowflakes are ephemeral, yet they collect and create beauty. Jamie leaned closer, captivated by Lyra's emotional depth. That's precisely it. Moments in life can sometimes seem fleeting, but they create memories. Suddenly Lyra playfully threw a handful of snow in Jamie's direction. Hey! Not fair. Jamie laughed, making an exaggerated motion to dodge the snowflakes. Defend yourself. Lyra shouted, scooping up more snow and tossing it again. In the flurry of laughter and energy, Tarek rolled his eyes but couldn't help but smile. I thoroughly underestimated the snow activity, he admitted. As Jamie ducked and dodged, she called out, Tarek, join us. You are not serious? He laughed, stepping away from the fray, but a twinkle in his eye showed his interest. Come on, don't knock it until you try it. Jamie encouraged. After some playful coaxing, Tarek relented. Very well. He scooped up some snow and hurled it toward Jamie, hitting her squarely in the shoulder. Touché! Jamie exclaimed, chuckling as she gathered her own handful before launching it back at him. The atmosphere was filled with laughter as they all engaged in a light-hearted snow battle, showcasing a camaraderie that Jamie hadn't fully anticipated. As the snow fell, the boundaries between human and Valerian melted away. After what felt like hours of laughter and joy, they finally collapsed onto the snow-covered ground, breathless. I've never had such fun. Lyra panted, a wide smile on her face. Who knew snow could bring out such joy on Valeria 7? Tarek added, beaming. This is just the beginning, Jamie said, feeling an overwhelming sense of happiness in this new alliance. We have so much to share. You have opened our minds to new experiences, Lyra said, her eyes glimmering with sincerity. I'm eager to learn more. Then let's continue exploring. Jamie said, her heart full. Together, we can discover all the special moments this journey has to offer. As they all lay there, intertwined in laughter and frost, it was clear they were embarking on a remarkable adventure, one shaped by the curiosity, joy, and wonder that this unique exchange had fostered. Chapter 3, The First Snowfall. The exhilaration of the previous day lingered in the air as Jamie, Lyra, and Tarek made their way to the Grand Cultural Hall again. Today was the day they would showcase the artificial snow to the broader Valerian population. Jamie was a mixture of excitement and nerves, hopeful that the communal experience would further solidify the bond between their two species. Do you think everyone will like it? Jamie asked, brushing a loose strand of hair behind her ear as they approached the enormous entrance adorned with glowing symbols. I suspect they will be curious, at the very least, Tarek replied, a reassuring smile on his face. The Valerian Council believes in shared experiences. Curious? Lyra echoed, her vibrant eyes filled with anticipation. I hope they will feel the joy we felt yesterday. Emotions can be tricky, Tarek remarked. But remember, if they see how happy you both are, it will help. As they entered the hall, Jamie was struck by the sheer magnitude of the space. The high ceilings arched like a grand forest canopy, featuring intricate light patterns that pulsed rhythmically. It felt alive. She looked around at the gathering crowd, Valerians of various shapes and colors mingling, their conversations filled with melodic intonations that echoed in the vast chamber. Here we go, Jamie whispered, a mix of excitement and anxiety coursing through her veins. Tarek stepped forward to address the crowd, his voice steady and confident. Esteemed citizens of Valeria 7, today we gather to witness a special presentation from our human friends. Captain Jamie Keller will introduce a phenomenon from her world. The crowd quieted, their gaze shifting toward Jamie. Taking a deep breath, Jamie stepped up beside Tarek. Thank you, Tarek, and thank you all for coming. Today we'll be showcasing something called snow, a playful, frozen delight from my planet. What is snow? Shouted one Valerian, their bright tentacles fanning out in curiosity. Jamie smiled, eager to explain. Snow is formed when tiny water droplets freeze in the atmosphere, creating beautiful, soft flakes that fall gently to the ground. It's like nature's confetti. She gestured toward the snow generator behind her, shimmering with anticipation. Lyra stepped forward, visibly excited. You got to experience it yesterday. The laughter, the joy. Today, we will launch something brand new. Indeed, Jamie responded enthusiastically. And we hope to capture the same magic today. Are you ready for some snow? The crowd erupted in a chorus of cheer and anticipation. Jamie glanced at Lyra, who was practically vibrating with excitement. Let's do this, Lyra shouted, taking her place beside the generator. Together, then? Jamie asked. Absolutely, Lyra replied, her grin brightening the room. With a nod to Tarek, they initiated the setup together, working seamlessly as the crowd watched in awe. Tarek monitored the readings, adjusting settings as Jamie and Lyra demonstrated their teamwork in activating the device. On 3. Jamie called out, glancing back at the enthusiastic crowd. 1, 2, 3. The generator buzzed and whirred, and snowflakes began to stream out, swirling gracefully through the hall. Gasps of joy filled the air as the fluffy white flakes began to fall. Laughter erupted as the first few Valerians reached out to catch the flakes on their tongues. Look, it's not just static. It moves like a dance, a Valerian exclaimed, their eyes wide with delight. Lyra laughed, leaning into Jamie. This is incredible. Look at their faces. Both women watched with joy as members of the crowd twirled and mimicked the dancing motions Jamie and Lyra had shown the day before. Tarek stood to the side, beaming with pride at the unfolding display of joy. Now, let's all join in, Jamie suggested, stepping into the falling snow. Just like yesterday, let's celebrate together. Encouraged by Jamie's words, the crowd surged forward, swarming the snowflakes as they landed. Valerians began to twirl and tumble, and soon the hall echoed with sounds of laughter and excitement. Jamie couldn't help but dance, twirling with Lyra amidst the cascade of snow. What do you think they'll tell their families when they go home? Lyra asked as they spun about. They will share this moment. They might even want to create their own snow festivals, Jamie exclaimed, twirling away from Lyra and beckoning Tarek into the whirlwind. Come on, Tarek. Join us. Jamie called out, her laughter ringing through the air. You know I never dance. Tarek protested, but amusement danced in his eyes. Just this once. We can't have a snow party without you. Lyra chimed in, pulling Tarek into the dance despite his resistance. With a deep breath, Tarek finally relented, joining the two women in the swirl of laughter and falling snowflakes. His long limbs moved awkwardly at first, but gradually an element of joy crept in as he loosened up. See, you're getting it. Jamie laughed, spinning past them. They danced together, letting the joy of the moment wash over them, eyes glimmering with delight. Suddenly, a small group of children from the crowd ran forward, their faces glowing with excitement. Can we play in the snow? One little Valerian shouted, their voice brimming with enthusiasm. Of course, Jamie exclaimed, motioning for them to join her. Everyone, form a circle. As Valerians began to gather around, Jamie decided to introduce snowball making. Okay, grab a handful of snow and pack it together like this. Lyra joined in, demonstrating with Jamie the perfect way to create a snowball. It's just like crafting our harmonica blocks, Lyra exclaimed. Feel the texture. The children squealed with excitement and raced to gather snow, laughing as they squished it together. That's it. You're natural snowball makers. Jamie praised, her heart swelling as she watched their faces light up with pure joy. A little Valerian approached her, eyes wide. Will it hurt if we throw at each other? No. It's soft and friendly, Jamie assured them, holding a snowball of her own. Just don't aim for the face. The Valerian child giggled, nodding as they dove back into their snowball making. Soon, the grand hall transformed into a joyous battlefield filled with laughter, playful screeches, and colorful Valerians whirling about. Watch out behind you, Jamie, Tarek shouted, chuckling as a snowball whizzed past her head. Aha! Hours of play, Jamie and Tarek slid to the edge of the main area, breathless and grinning. You two have brought something truly special to us, Tarek said, visibly pleased. This day will be cherished in the memory of many. Do you think we could do this more often? Lyra asked, her eyes sparkling. Absolutely. We could create a festival around it, Jamie suggested, her heart racing with potential. Imagine introducing more Earth traditions alongside this. I can already envision it, Tarek agreed. A seasonal gathering that celebrates both Valerian and human cultures. Excitement buzzed in the air as Lyra and Jamie began brainstorming, throwing out ideas for future festivals filled with games and shared experiences. Tarek contributed suggestions as well, making it a collaborative effort. As the room filled with laughter, conversation, and the remnants of snow, Jamie couldn't help but feel grateful for this newfound connection. Together, they were forming a bond not just between individuals, but between their worlds. The day had started with uncertainty, but it was clear that they had created something beautiful, not just snow, but an experience that could reshape their futures. And Jamie couldn't wait to see what else was in store. Chapter 4: Crossing Boundaries. The aftermath of the Snow Festival had left the Grand Cultural Hall buzzing with energy. Jamie, Lyra, and Tarek sat together at a circular table adorned with vibrant Valerian art, surrounded by a plethora of smiling faces celebrating the day's success. The unity they produced felt palpable, almost electric. Who would have thought throwing snow could forge such strong bonds? Jamie mused, leaning back in her chair with a contented sigh. I did, Lyra declared, laughter sparkling in her voice. You humans have such interesting ways of connecting. Tarek raised an eyebrow, a mock-serious expression crossing his face. You make it sound like we Valerians lack fun. Oh, not at all. Jamie laughed, leaning toward Tarek. I think you Valerians are just more focused on other pursuits like science and art. True, Tarek admitted, nodding. We tend to analyze emotions rather than experience them. However, this festival has shown me that feelings can be explored through play as well. Exactly. Imagine all the fun traditions we could develop together, Jamie suggested, excitement bubbling in her voice. We could have more festivals, themed events that celebrate both our cultures. Lyra's eyes sparkled. Like a festival of arts. We can showcase our music and dance alongside your human expressions. Yes. And culinary exchanges. I'd love to share Earth's foods while trying some of your delicacies, Jamie said, her enthusiasm infectious. Tarek leaned forward, looking intrigued. Culinary experiences could be the perfect way to bring even more of our peoples together. We have some dishes rich in flavor and vitality. Let's organize a taste testing day. Lyra chimed in. We can invite everyone to participate. That sounds fantastic. Jamie replied, her heart racing at the thought of all the possibilities. But first, we must put together the plans for this festival, Tarek said, his voice turning serious again. We'll need every detail considered. I suggest we hold meetings with the council to gain their support. Great idea. Jamie agreed. Let's set a time for tomorrow. Why not now? Lyra suggested. The council is still gathered in the breakout room nearby, celebrating the success of the snow event. I can feel their energy. All right, let's do this. Jamie said, determination setting in. Leading a new festival is something I want to be part of. As they made their way into the adjacent room, Jamie felt a swell of anticipation. The council members were laughing and sharing stories about the snow event, their colors flashing vividly in the dim light. Esteemed council, Tarek began, gaining their attention. We come with a proposal for a collaborative festival. After the success of the snow event, we believe it is time to create more shared experiences between our peoples. Shared experiences, one council member echoed, their voice tinged with skepticism. What kind of experiences do you envision? Culinary exchanges, artistic showcases, think an event celebrating both our cultures. Jamie chimed in. We could have everything from food tastings to music performances. The council members murmured among themselves, exchanging glances. Lyra stepped forward, her voice ringing with passion. The snow festival brought us together in ways we never expected. We can continue this momentum and deepen our relationship. What would we gain from such an undertaking? Asked another council member, a hint of doubt in his tone. There's so much knowledge and creativity waiting to be shared, Tarek interjected. By collaborating, we can broaden our understanding and appreciation of one another. In doing so, we can strengthen our communities. Another council member leaned forward, intrigued. What culinary delights can Earth offer us? Jamie grinned, her excitement bubbling over. Everything from savory pies and sweet pastries to hearty soups and stir-fried vegetables. The variety is astounding, and I would love to showcase our different dishes. Lyra added, and we can share our favorite Valerian meals. Our culinary styles are unlike any other. We have flavors that could excite your senses. The council deliberated once again. Jamie could feel the tension in the air, but she maintained her hopeful demeanor. Very well, said the spokesperson, finally speaking again. We will discuss your proposal and consider the implications. If we move forward, we will require a detailed plan with responsibilities outlined. Understood, Tarek said, nodding. We will present a plan by the end of the week. As they left the council chamber, Jamie's heart soared. We're actually doing this. That went better than I anticipated, Lyra said, her excitement carrying them down the corridor. Tarek chuckled. A step in the right direction, indeed. But remember, we need a solid approach to solidify their approval. I can help draft the plan. Jamie exclaimed. How many days should we aim for the festival? Let's aim for the next full moon, Lyra suggested. It will be especially beautiful. That gives us plenty of time, Tarek agreed. We should divide the tasks among ourselves to keep it efficient. Good idea, Jamie said, mentally organizing the tasks. Tarek, you take care of logistics and safety measures. Lyra, we can brainstorm culinary offerings together, right? Of course, Lyra said enthusiastically. And I can enlist some of my friends to assist with their favorite dishes. Wonderful. I'll handle outreach to gather volunteers for the festival organization and coordinate with the council for updates, Jamie replied, confidence radiating from her. As the days passed, they worked tirelessly to prepare for the festival. Their collaboration deepened their friendship, and Jamie relished every moment she spent with Lyra and Tarek. One evening, while working late in the planning room, Jamie rested her head against the cool surface of the table, overwhelmed by the amount of information they were organizing. Need a break? Lyra suggested, her eyes sparkling with concern. Just a few more notes, and yes, let's take a moment, Jamie replied, rubbing her temples. Let me make some tea, Tarek offered, rising from his seat. It may help us recharge. Tea sounds perfect, Jamie said, watching him as he moved gracefully to the preparation area. While he's busy, tell me how you feel about the festival so far, Lyra asked, curiosity evident in her tone. I'm really excited, Jamie admitted, her smile brightening. But I still worry about overextending ourselves. What if we don't have enough time to pull it all together? Lyra's expression softened. Do not doubt your ability. We connect with our strengths, combine our efforts, and that will create something great. Maybe you're right. I guess I just want it to go perfectly, Jamie confessed. Tarek returned with a steaming cup for each of them. Here you are, he said, setting the cups down before them. Thanks, Tarek, Jamie replied, taking a sip. The warmth enveloped her, easing her worries. He glanced between them. You're both doing incredible work. Just remember, perfection is less important than connection. Wise advice indeed, Lyra agreed, nodding. A moment of comfortable silence enveloped them, and Jamie thought about how fortunate she was to have found such wonderful allies. Their laughter and shared moments solidified something special, an understanding that went beyond words. They were becoming more than just representatives of their species, they were friends working toward a common goal. And with each passing day, Jamie felt the chasm between their worlds closing ever so slightly, paving the way for a brighter shared future. She couldn't wait for the festival to arrive and see where this journey would take them next. Chapter 5: New Beginnings. The day of the festival finally arrived, and the anticipation in the air was palpable. Jamie stood in the center of the grand cultural hall, decorated beautifully with shimmering fabrics and lights that danced in the soft Valerian evening. A blend of human and Valerian decorations filled the space, showcasing both cultures harmoniously. Just look at all of this, Jamie exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. She turned to Lyra and Tarek, who were adjusting an array of vibrant banners hanging from the ceiling. We did it. All the planning has paid off. Lyra grinned, the excitement radiating from her. It looks amazing. I can't wait for everyone to experience our offerings. Tarek stepped back to assess their work, arms crossed with a satisfied smile. It's quite the spectacle. I believe our citizens will be impressed. Just then, a group of Valerian children dashed past, their laughter echoing through the hall as they chased after a colorful ball. They picked up speed, weaving through the clusters of festival attendees setting up their stations. Hey, watch where you're going, Jamie called after them, laughing. The joy of the moment fueled her excitement even more. Let them have their fun, Lyra said with a smile. They're filled with enthusiasm for the day ahead. True enough, Tarek replied, amused. Should we do one last check before the official start? Absolutely, Jamie said, adjusting her outfit. I'll head to the food stalls and make sure everything is ready. I'll check the performance area, Lyra said, her eyes gleaming. We have our musicians set to go soon. Then I'll handle the logistics and guest greetings, Tarek declared, moving off to the entrance. Let's keep this organized. As Jamie made her way to the culinary stalls, the tantalizing aromas of various Valerian dishes enveloped her. A mix of sweet and savory scents wafted through the air, igniting her appetite. Jamie! A familiar voice called, drawing her attention. It was one of the Valerian cooks, Firen, who had eagerly volunteered to share his traditional dishes during the festival. His iridescent skin shimmered under the festival lights. How's it going, Firen? Jamie asked, stepping closer to the food station. Are the dishes ready? Almost. These sweet treats are filled with our favorite local spices. Just finishing the last batch, he replied, pouring a fragrant syrup over a tray of pastries. Everything smells incredible, Jamie praised, biting her lip to hold back her excitement. Firen grinned at her enthusiasm. You will love it. I also prepared some savory options for you. Shall I show you? Yes, please, Jamie said, following him to a table arrayed with colorful dishes. This one looks amazing. That is a favorite. A savory pie filled with vegetables and spices native to Valeria, Firen explained, gesturing proudly. I will show you how to prepare it if you wish to take the recipe back to Earth. I would love that. It would be perfect to teach back home, Jamie said, her mind racing with ideas for sharing Valerian cuisine. Consider it done, Firen said, winking at her. You'll have a full course to take back. Just then, Lyra appeared, walking briskly toward them. Jamie, Firen, we need to gather everyone for the welcoming ceremony. Performers are ready and the music will start playing soon. Got it? Jamie replied, feeling a surge of adrenaline. Let's assemble everyone and get this place rocking. As they headed toward the center of the hall, Jamie looked around, seeing a blend of Valerian and human attendees mingling. She felt a sense of pride at how far they had come, all the bonds that had been formed through their collaborative efforts. Ready? Lyra asked, standing next to a stage adorned with artistic displays and musical instruments. Ready, Jamie said, feeling the electricity in the air. Tarek joined them with his signature calm demeanor. All set for the announcement? Let's do this, Jamie exclaimed, stepping up to the stage with Lyra beside her. As the crowd gathered, the atmosphere turned electric with anticipation. Jamie took a deep breath and addressed the audience, her voice confident. Welcome, esteemed guests. Today marks a new chapter for us as we come together to celebrate our shared cultures through this festival. Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Jamie could see the joy in every Valerian and human face staring back at her. We invite you to experience the culinary delights from both Earth and Valeria, marvel at artistic performances, and most importantly, celebrate the unity that comes from our connection, Lyra added, her eyes shining. Together, we will learn, share, and grow. Tarek stepped in, adjusting his stance. Let us enrich our understanding of one another and see this day as a symbol of our collaboration. As the welcoming ceremony concluded, the music began and performers stepped into the spotlight. Jamie watched as Valerian musicians showcased their instruments, producing sounds unlike anything she'd heard on Earth. Wow, she murmured to Lyra beside her. This is phenomenal. They have such unique rhythms and melodies, Lyra responded, swaying to the music. Once the performance ended, guests began to disperse throughout the stalls, excitement palpable. Jamie started to feel the buzz of conversations around her, sampling different dishes and sharing stories. Hey, Jamie, Tarek called from across the hall. Come try this. She made her way over where Tarek stood with a group of Valerians around a stall filled with snack-sized delicacies. These are amazing, he continued, handing her a small, crispy treat. Wow, this is fantastic, Jamie exclaimed, savoring the surprising burst of flavors. What's in it? It's a mix of local spices and ground grains, Tarek explained. Simply delightful. Let's keep this energy up. Jamie turned to the crowd. Everyone, don't forget to try the dishes from Firen's stall. He has the finest Valerian cuisine. As the day unfolded, Jamie mingled with guests, sampling delectable dishes and enjoying laughter with new friends. The festival bloomed with joy, laughter resonated through the hall, voices intertwined as friendships formed. She turned to Lyra, who was deep in conversation with a group of children, displaying a plate of traditional sweets. You've become quite the crowd magnet. They love learning about our dishes. Lyra laughed, dipping her head. And they seem fascinated by my stories. Just then, Firen approached with a tray of his pastries. You two should try these before they disappear. Sweet treats enriched with the essence of Valeria. You read my mind. Jamie grinned, accepting a pastry and taking a bite. Delicious. As evening fell, the atmosphere transitioned into one of celebration. The glow of the lights illuminated happy faces and the warmth of camaraderie filled every corner. Tarek, how do you feel about the festival so far? Jamie asked as they regrouped, holding a plate filled with food from various stalls. Everything is running smoothly, he replied, a slight smile on his lips. You've all done brilliantly organizing this event. Agreed, Lyra added, her eyes sparkling. It's lovely to see our peoples coming together like this. I think this will be the start of many more festivals, Jamie said, feeling a swell of optimism. Imagine the future of collaboration and creativity, Tarek chimed in. Each one of us offers something unique. As the night wore on, they joined together in a circle, sharing stories, laughter, and dreams. The shared experience created a bond that felt unbreakable, more profound than any of them had anticipated. As the stars twinkled outside the Grand Cultural Hall, Jamie knew this was just the beginning. Together, they were crafting a future, one that blended their worlds into something extraordinary. And in that moment, surrounded by laughter and friendship, she realized how intertwined their fates had become.